You ever feel like your brain is just buffering? Like you want to make a quick decision, but you just get stuck? Well, today we're going to unpack a pretty powerful idea. Thinking faster isn't really about raw intelligence. Nope, it's a skill, and you can build it with the right framework. Okay, let's dive right into this. We all fall into what's called the analysis paralysis trap. You know that feeling, right? You're completely frozen by a choice, even when the stakes are super low. It's like a traffic jam in your head that stops you dead in your tracks. So let me ask you something. Just think about the last day or so. Did you find yourself just spinning your wheels on something that, looking back, really didn't need all that brain power? I bet it looked a little something like this. Maybe it was staring at a restaurant menu or just into your own fridge, and boom, 15 minutes are just gone. There's actually a term for this: choice overload. It's where having too many options literally creates a mental logjam over something as simple as what to have for lunch. Or what about this one? A friend sends you a simple text, and you fall down this rabbit hole of drafting and redrafting the perfect reply. That little quest for perfection over a two-sentence message? Classic analysis paralysis. And come on, we've all been there. And here's the thing, this paralysis isn't just about the small stuff. It scales way up. It can go from these minor daily frustrations to huge life decisions, like agonizing over a career change for so long that the opportunity just fades away. But what if there's a better way to do this? This quote just nails the core idea we need to grab onto. Deciding with rules means the answer isn't to try and outthink every single problem. The real solution is to build a system before the decision even shows up at your door. So here's the game plan. I'm going to walk you through a powerful 3-rule thinking system to do exactly that. We'll start with default decisions to put the small stuff on autopilot. Then we'll get into the 70% rule to build momentum. And we'll wrap up with pre-commitment filters to handle the big stuff. Let's jump into the first one. All right, system number 1. This is all about putting your recurring, everyday choices on autopilot. The whole goal here is to free up your precious mental energy for the decisions that actually, matter. So there's this thing psychologists talk about called decision fatigue. Think of your willpower like a phone battery. We make hundreds of tiny choices every day, and each one drains that battery just a little bit. By creating defaults for, say, 70% of that repetitive stuff, you're basically keeping your battery charged for when you really need it. And this is so simple to apply. For instance, just eating the same healthy breakfast every single weekday, that totally reduces your cognitive load first thing in the morning. Want a great daily habit to build? Easy. Lay out your clothes the night before. Decision made, no morning brain power wasted. Okay, let's move on to our second system. This one is a killer antidote to perfectionism. It's called the 70% rule, and it's all about learning to act without having every single answer. The logic here is just beautiful. Waiting for 100% certainty, that's a fantasy. It's a trap. It doesn't exist. The 70% rule gives you permission to move forward with good enough information. It's not about being reckless, not at all. It's about valuing momentum over perfect knowledge. Think about launching a project at work. If you wait until it's 100% perfect, guess what? You will never launch. Getting it to 70% and then improving it based on real-world feedback is so much more effective. This is how you fight analysis paralysis head-on. For a daily practice, try this. The next time you write an email, give it one quick proofread and just hit send. No more agonizing. And that brings us to our third and final system, which might just be the most strategic one of all. Pre-commitment filters are about making decisions now, so you don't have to make them later when you're under pressure. This is all about front-loading the hard work. You figure out what you really value, and you create these simple if-then rules for yourself. So when a situation comes up that fits your rule, the decision is already made. It's not a debate anymore, it's just execution. A fantastic example of this at work is creating a rule. If a meeting invite doesn't have a clear agenda, then I will decline it. See, that's not about being difficult. It's about protecting your time based on what you've already decided is important. To practice this, just set one simple if-then rule for your upcoming week. Like, if it's past 10 p.m., then I will put my phone in the other room. So there you have it. That's the whole system, and you can see how they work together. You automate the small stuff with default decisions, you build momentum on the medium stuff with the 70% rule, and you handle the big, important things with your pre-commitment filters. Look, this isn't just about learning a few cool tricks. When you start to adopt this kind of framework, you're actually shifting your identity. It's about becoming a decisive person, not because you got smarter, but because you got more prepared. And this is the one thing I really want you to take away. The most decisive people you know aren't doing some kind of complex mental math for every choice. They've simply pre-programmed their responses using systems just like these. It's a skill, and it's totally learnable. So with all that said, I want to leave you with this super simple, totally actionable challenge.